Hey guys, John Jr. here, bringing you guys another APA draft analysis, this time for the third set of 4 weeks, the third trimester battles here in the APA Wi-Fi. So, going into this draft, we got the 13th pick. For the third time in a row, which is absolutely phenomenal. I hate that so much. Like, I don't want the 13th pick. I don't have any busted mons if we do make playoffs, which, for those of you that do not know, if you did not watch the battle yet, don't listen to this, but I did go 4-4 as of now, so we went 2-2 and then 2-2 again. So we have somewhat of a shot of making playoffs. I'd say if we win 2 games, at least, we probably make playoffs, but that's not guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed yet, so that'd be a lot of fun. So we still got some battles here to win. I'm gonna be honest, I don't like this team that we got at all. We got the 13th pick, and there was one mon left that I wanted to try, but I've not used very often, and this team is just a bunch of mons that I'm not very familiar with, so we'll try to make the most of it. With the 13th overall pick, ZyGuard 50 was still left, and that is the mon that we ended up picking. I named is Shuckle King because of my good pal Shuckle King, one of the reasons that I'm in Draft League format, and I named it after him because he helped me with the draft plan once that had ZyGuard 50. So, ZyGuard 50 here, it's a really cool mon. Obviously, it's got no switch ins 2000 arrows. Dual dance is very, very scary with coil and dragon dance. Sub lefties is a very prominent set. It's a good Z user with Z outrage doing a lot of damage, and extreme speed, good priority. It's just a good mon overall. Base 95 speed, base 100 attack, which is not as good as you would like, but it can be ran with a choice band, and that is pretty phenomenal on that sense. And then all around, I thought ZyGuard was a really, really cool Pokemon. It's a really cool Pokemon that I've wanted to try for a while now. So I decided, why not try to build a team around ZyGuard 50 here. Now, moving into the next pick, I had no idea what to pick for a very, very long time. This one waited on me for a very long time because I had no idea what to pair with ZyGuard 50. Eventually, though, we went ahead and picked up Athena, the Tapu Fini here. Tapu Fini is a Pokemon that I hate. I actually despise using this Pokemon, but my front office advised me that it works very, very well with ZyGuard 50, which I know it does. ZyGuard can get burned under terrain. It doesn't really use Dragon moves too often unless you're going to bring Z Devastating Drake. So, and, like, obviously they don't have a fairy, you want to bring that, so Fini is a really, really good match for ZyGuard, but I'm just not personally a fan of Fini. Base 85 speed, and then it has base 130 Spadef, I want to say, base 110 defense, and then like base 95, 100, something like that, special attack. Fini's not my favorite Pokemon. It gets access to Defog, but it's a bulky water with no reliable recovery. Z-Haze is definitely an option that we could run some weeks, and it could definitely come in handy too, because we face a lot of good setup mons here, but other than that, it has no reliable recovery aside from leftovers. Dual Stab is very, very hard to switch into, but Fini just doesn't hit as hard as you would like. Fini, however, does have a lot of different playstyles that you can run. You can run Z, you can run Specs, you can run Scarf, you can run, like, there's a whole lot of different things that you can do for Fini, so that's really cool. I'm not really looking forward to using Fini. I don't like this mon a lot, but I decided why not go ahead and give it another shot and see how it goes here. But with our third overall pick, we decided to pick up, this mon was still left in the third round, and I don't think there's a third round mon. We already got it before, but you can double up on mons. We got Mega Scizor, and Mega Scizor, Rock Paper Scizor here, this is a phenomenal Pokemon. In my opinion, is the 10th best mon in Draft League format, and if you disagree with that, that's fine, but I still think it is one of the top 3 Megas in Draft League format, no matter what, unless, you know, like Mega Mawile, Mega Latias are allowed, but going off standard tiers, in my opinion, Mega Scizor is 100% a top 3 Mega in Draft League format. This mon is absolutely phenomenal. It can be very, very diverse in what it does. It obviously has Technician Bullet Punch, which is amazing, but it also can be ran in other ways. Very, very offensive and defensive. It has base 150 attack, I think, and base 140 defense. It's very, very bulky, has access to Defog Roost, and that it can be a good setup sweeper with just Bullet Punch, Defog Roost, Swords Dance, Bullet Punch, or Bullet Punch U-Turn, Roost SD. Like, there's so many things that you can do with Mega Scizor. Has a great base 75 speed, great for a bulky Pokemon, a very, very bulky Pokemon. The only thing that really hinders Scizor is that 4x fire weakness, but we got Mega Scizor strategically with ZyGuard 50 because they've got to choose. Do they want HP Ice, or do they want HP Fire? Are they going to hit us? Are they going to hit our ZyGuard, or are they going to hit our Scizor? Are they going to be setup fodder for our Scizor, or are they going to be setup fodder for our ZyGuard? So making our opponents have to think like that is very, very cool, and that is something that I really enjoy. And I thought that Mega Scizor fit really, really well, because with the first 2 Pokemon we had a lot of trouble breaking bulky grasses, and Mega Scizor really, really helped with that. Also helps break bulky psychics, which, I mean, ZyGuard and Fini can do, but they don't appreciate having to do that. So Scizor being here can definitely help with that, and Scizor also gives us momentum to potentially get into ZyGuard to set up. and it takes some defog pressure off of Finny, so that's really, really nice. Our next Pokemon here is going to be Snorlax. Big Owen, I was so tempted to Photoshop Owen's face on this Snorlax, but Snorlax is a really cool Pokemon. It pairs really, really nicely with ZyGuard and Scizor because of the access to Thick Fat, and in my opinion, Snorlax should be a tier 2 Pokemon. This Pokemon is absolutely insane, so seeing it in tier 3 just makes it such a value pick to me, and a mon that I really felt could help our team out in the long run. If you don't know what Snorlax does, it has leftover, or usually it runs leftovers with Curse, Rest, Talk, Body Slam, which is definitely a really phenomenal set, and if they don't have a great normal resist, it can definitely tear through teams, but Snorlax can definitely do more than that. You can run an AV Snorlax, I've seen ran before, and it just eats every special hit. You can go with Figgy Berry Gluttony is another really, really good set. You can run, there's a whole lot of different sets. It actually gets decent coverage. It gets like Fire Blast, I think, so like if I want to hit a Skarmory, which we do face in the upcoming weeks, I could run Fire Blast. I'm just saying, special Snorlax incoming. Even banded Snorlax I think could have some utility. So Snorlax is just a really cool mon, a really cool defensive mon that I think can help out Snorlax ZyGuard and Scizor quite a bit, being able to soak up both those ice and fire hits. So I'm really, really looking forward to using this Pokemon. But next up here with the 5th overall pick, we did decide to go for another tier 3, and this one was shout out to Leo 6fthax for helping me with this one. I had zero idea what to get, so he suggested Salazzle. So we are getting Kurt with a C, Salazzle, because my boy Kurt the Buzzswole always uses this Pokemon phenomenally. So I wanted to try it. Helps break those bulky grasses that we otherwise have a lot of trouble dealing with, and I thought it was just overall a great fit. So the whole thing with Salazzle, it helps our speed tiers out. Our speed tiers were very, very bad before this. Our speed tiers were ZyGuard at 95, Finny at 85, Scizor at 75, so we just keep going down by 10s, and then Snorlax's speed doesn't count for anything because you usually run Curse on that anyway, so it goes negative or minus speed, whatever. Salazzle is really, really cool because it has base 117 speed and it hits super hard. The only problem with Salazzle is it is very frail, but that doesn't matter when we are going to outspeed all of the bulky grasses that our other Pokemon have a lot of trouble dealing with. Basically, Salazzle is going to be here and be a breaker, but it also gets access to Will-O-Wisp, gets access to Taunt. It can Toxic any Pokemon, and if you guys know me, I'm a bulky player, so I'll probably utilize that in some fashion by clicking Toxic on a Steel or Poison type at some point, and that'll be a lot of fun. But Salazzle is a really cool Pokemon, and in this free Z format, Salazzle is going to be really, really fun to use. Next up here with the 6th overall pick, you'll notice that we keep avoiding tier 2, and that's because none of the tier 2s fit with this team at all. There was one Pokemon that fit, but I avoided getting it, and you guys will see why later. I kept avoiding getting it until I absolutely had to, and there were no other options. But with our next pick here, we got another tier 3 that shouldn't have been left, in my opinion. One of the best tier 3 Pokemon. Should never be a tier 2, but Decidueye. Decidueye is an amazing tier 3 Pokemon. Absolutely love this Pokemon. It has Roost, Defa, U-Turn. It's got all 3 things that I absolutely love. It gets removal, it gets recovery, and it gets momentum. That's all you need. But with this being said, Decidueye is a very nice Pokemon because it can set up on the physical and the special side as well. It can be defensive, it can be physically or specially defensive. It can run AV, it can have Roost, it can be Defog. It's one of the most versatile Pokemon there are. It has a good moveset for both the physical and the special side. It's just, I love Decidueye so much, man. I love Decidueye so much. Helps us break the bulky waters that we otherwise had trouble with, and also takes defog pressure off of Scizor and Finny. So we've got 3 removers now, I do believe. Yeah, 3 removers now, which is really, really nice, and I absolutely love Decidueye. One of my absolute favorite Pokemon, man. This Pokemon is beautiful, its shiny is beautiful, and you already know our boy Russ is gonna come through. Moving on to our next pick is a mon that's tier 5 that I don't think should be tier 5. We got Lickilicky. Lickilicky's a really cool Pokemon, although Audino is better. Audino was already taken at this point, or I already had Audino in the previous draft, so I didn't want to double up and just I wanted to have the ability to choose between the two, but I'm always choosing Audino if we make playoffs. Anyway, Lickilicky is another phenomenal Pokemon with Wish and Oblivious, so it can't be taunted, so it always gets a guaranteed Wish off. The only problem with Lickilicky is it doesn't have Regenerator like Audino, so basically I'm just going to talk about how Audino is better than Lickilicky here, but it's just a Wish Passer, Wish Support for ZyGuard for Finny, because Finny needs Wish Support in my opinion. Things like bulky waters that don't have recovery like Finny and Mega Blastoise need Wish Support, and I think Lickilicky can't provide that. This is unfortunately our second normal type, and I didn't realize that at the time of drafting it. I just realized that it was a Wish Passer and we needed one, so we got it. Moving on here, we got our tier 2 Pokemon. Its name is I'm Sorry, and it's Cresselia. Cress is such a ridiculous Pokemon, and I absolutely hate it. I actually, in CP Wi-Fi, I actually banned it just so people couldn't use it, just so people couldn't timer stall with it, just because it's so annoying to face. I didn't want to put that through, or put people through that. It's a stupid ban, it's a stupid ban for sure, but I just didn't want people to be put through breaking Cresselia in a league that's supposed to be for fun. But that's off on a little tangent here. Cresselia is such a stupid fat mon, dude. It's so stupid. I've already ran some calcs with it. It's ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous what kind of hits this mon can take. I think it has base 110 HP and 130 defenses. I could be completely wrong on that, but it's just such a bulky fat mon. Toxic recovery is all you really need on this Pokemon. Toxic recovery, and it gets Calm Mind, so we can set up. It gets Moonblast as well as Stab, obviously, and I think it gets like Energy Ball and Thunderbolt maybe, but I could be wrong on that. The whole thing with Cresselia is that it's a stupid fat mon to break, super hard to break, and nobody's ever gonna break it, so it's really stupid fat, and I'm so sorry. I'm naming it I'm sorry because I really am. I don't want to have to do it like this, but we gotta make playoffs somehow, and Cresselia is gonna help us get there. And it also has base 85 speed, by the way, so it actually outspeeds other tanks, can set up sub on it, or toxic it, or recover on it, or whatever it needs to do, and we'll be in a fine position there. But moving on to our ninth pick, we do have Rhyperior, a tier 4 rock ground type, obviously. It gives us a rocker because I don't think we had setters up until this point, so we needed some setters, so our last 3 picks are setters. Rhyperior is a mod that I've wanted to try for a while. Long story short, it was there, it was available, I wanted to try it, we're trying it. It gets rocks, and that's really why it's here. It also helps take hit from fire types for Mega Sizzler, which is cool, I guess. Like, it's really just here for rocks, man. I'm gonna be honest, it's really just here for rocks. But if you guys have a name for Rhyperior, actually, please leave it in the comments below, because my name for it right now is the Big Show, which I'm not into wrestling at all, but Owen suggested that, so I'm going to do that. But if you guys have a better nickname, please let me know. But moving on to our 10th pick, we got Arrowhead, Archeops, and Archeops is a really cool Pokemon. I really wish it had a better ability than Defeatist, but Archeops gets Rocks, it gets Defog, it gets Roost, so U-Turn as well, so you already know it gets Removal, it gets Recovery, it gets Removal, Recovery, it gets Hazards, and it gets Momentum. You already know it's a Pokemon that I am into. Archeops is really cool in the fact that it hits super hard, especially before Defeatist. We don't talk about after Defeatist, but it's really cool in the sense that we have free Z. So Z Rockhead is very real. Z Heat Wave is very real. Z, what other moves does it get? What flying type move does it get that doesn't suck? I don't know. Z Aerial Ace? I don't know. This mod is just such a cool Pokemon. It has a really good speed tier in base 110, and I'm really looking forward to using Archeops. Lastly, here we do have a Selgor. This was a comfort pick. This was definitely a comfort pick. I had no idea what I wanted. I forgot my team when I drafted this Pokemon too. I just saw Selgor was left, and I needed more hazards, and Selgor has spikes and T-spikes, and it helps our speed tier as well, 145. So I was like, okay, I love the Selgor, momentum, hazards, what can go wrong? It also gets recover, so it checks off 3 of my boxes already of Pokemon that I love. The reason that I chose it was so it could hopefully help out our playoff team if we do make playoffs. So hopefully a Selgor is able to do that. I love this Pokemon so much. With that being said, that is going to be the 3rd round of draft here, and it is not the best draft. Zygarde 50, Crest, Snorlax, Salazzle, Rhyperior, Licky, Mega Scizor, Tapu Fini, Decidueye, Archeops, and a Selgor. Not my favorite draft I've ever had. Probably one of my least favorite drafts I've ever had, actually. But we're going to try to make the most of it. We're going to try to have fun here, and we're hopefully going to try to make playoffs here. But if you guys enjoyed this draft analysis, you guys enjoy my team, let me know down below. If you have any Rhyperior nicknames, please leave them down below, or even Licky nicknames, let me know down below. And let me know what you guys are looking forward to with this 4 weeks, these last 4 weeks, weeks 9 through 12, I do believe. But with all that being said, I think that's going to do it here for me, guys. And for now, guys, this has been John Jr. signing off.